You know, I tried to keep my mouth shut and stay out of the fray. Keep it spiritual and don't get into the political stuff. But when you see some fool stuff going on, you got to call it for what it is. In my 50 years in office, 50 years on this planet, I am not in office at all. Not like that. But in my 50 years on this planet, I have never seen such a destructive end to a presidency. It makes no sense. I mean, you literally go from saying one thing to doing another. Why on earth would we tear down the border wall? It makes no sense. It's like you tell regular everyday American citizens, you have to abide by the law, abide by the rules. But then you turn around and do something that is completely contrary to following the rules. I get it. People coming from South America, they are looking for a better life. I get that. But it's also people coming through those borders that mean it's harm. That's a fact. That's a truth. There's no way you can skirt around that. To tear down the border walls in the areas that are most trafficked by these individuals. And I'm not talking about the regular families trying to come over here and make way. I'm talking about the people that's coming over here to cause issue. Because it's not just people from South America. You have Chinese nationals. You have people from other countries coming over. Tons of people coming from European and Baltic states. They literally go down to South America and they travel with the packs. And then they come up here the same way, right? There is no way you can tell me that this is good for America. There's no way you can tell me that this is honestly something godly. It's not. It's like you're trying to cause more issues. You're trying to cause more crap to happen. I have never seen in all of my time, even with the stuff they say about Trump, and even with the stuff with the January 6th supposed insurrection and everything, which it was some stuff going on. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted, but it's a lot of smoke and mirrors in that too, because there was a lot of mess on both sides. That's the truth in that. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. However, there is no way that you can tell me that this stuff going on right now makes sense, because it doesn't. The fact that we just gave Iran, who is technically not an ally, the fact that we just gave them another $10 billion. We already gave them $10 billion over the last 10 years when Biden sent the money for the hostages and stuff like that. So, it's not for the hostages, but then 2 days after you negotiate the release of the hostages, you send them $6 billion. Then a couple off, the rest of the week, you send another $4 billion. But these are the people that are supposedly our enemies. There is no way you can tell me that a gentleman that used to be a major Al-Qaeda leader, who we put on our terrorist watch list, is leading the revolution over in Syria, and we're backing this guy. Make it make sense. Y'all, we are being fed a pack of crap. That's the best way I can say it without using words that I should not be using, because as a man of God, you can express your words without cussing, right? But sometimes you see this stuff and it just upsets you, because it's like, dude, this is not godly. But you know what? It is not surprising, because the Bible talked about how it's going to be in the last days. And it's just another sign of it. The greed, the desire to keep people divided, the desire to keep people fighting with each other instead of letting people unite. Because maybe if people united, we realize that they all full of crap. I don't get it twisted. I am a firm believer that there's dirty folks on both sides of the aisle. I'm also a firm believer that it doesn't matter who's in office. The people that are truly in power are going to get done what they want to get done. And that's what you're seeing today. There's people so happy that Trump is in office. When I voted for policies, because I didn't like either option. You can disagree with me, you can agree with me, I don't really care. That's not the point of this message. The point of this message is I voted on particular policies, right? And a platform. With this man in office, we know certain things are going to happen. Some good, some bad. We know that there's a possibility of tyranny and stuff like that, which wouldn't be the first time that God allowed tyranny to exact a certain point, to exact a certain result in the world. But what the government is doing right now makes no sense. I mean, if you look at the Constitution, if you look at everything that this country was built on, it goes against that. I mean, everything they're doing right now would technically, you would call that person an enemy of the state. You would call them an enemy of the state because of what they're doing right now. I don't understand it. But you know what I do understand? I understand that the word of God said that things would be like this. The word of God talked about how the world would be in chaos and disarray going into these last days. The word of God talks about a great deception falling upon the people. And you're seeing the great deception going on right now. all these drones being seen, thousands, not just hundreds, thousands of drones, not just New Jersey, from Virginia, Staten Island, Coney Island, over here in California at Vandenberg Air Force Base, even in certain parts of the South. I say certain parts of the South because, you know, you get up in Texas and everything, Louisiana, Arkansas here, they're going to shoot your stuff down, for real. But you're seeing all this all over the place. Now they're saying an Iranian mothership could be in the Pacific Ocean. That's a load of bull. First off, we have the most advanced military in the world. We may not have all the soldiers in the world, but as far as technology goes, we are one of the most advanced, have been one of the most advanced for a long time, but the enemies are catching up with us very quickly. And we know that over in Ukraine, because of the Ukraine war and whatnot, Ukraine and her enemies in Syria and Iran have become very proficient at making drones. But to say this is coming from an Iranian drone ship, so we just gonna let an Iranian mothership that carries drones sit in our waters and launch drones, that don't make sense. It makes no sense at all. Miss me with that. The fact that people are believing this stuff is the craziest thing to me. I keep saying, don't fall. See, that's an alarm telling us you should be alarmed right now. You should be alarmed. Don't worry, because God is in control. But what I'm saying is, don't fall for the okie doke. They feed you smoke and mirrors. They feed you lies. When they make a bunch of movies talking about civil unrest and what could happen in the latter days, when they make a bunch of movies talking about the possibility that all stuff coming on us, there could be hands, there could be people working, supposed people in America, supposed politicians and leaders in America, working for the other side or working towards a goal that benefits the other side, that benefits the people in power. There's a reason why they do that. They always gonna tell you what they're gonna do before they do it. It's some crazy stuff. I ain't never seen anything like this before in my life. I can tell you this much though. All this stuff fits in the Bible prophecy. It all fits in the Bible prophecy. Everybody is lining up. All the countries are lining up. I'm not saying we're going to war tomorrow. We're officially at war tomorrow. But I'm telling you this much. This stuff will continue to amp up and ramp up. And before you know it, we're going to be dealing here with issues right here in our own soil. They're already trying to get a civil war started. They are actively trying to pursue a civil war. They want to keep the people divided. Why is that? Because as long as we stay divided, we don't see the truth. Last Days Navigator.